everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Today what I want to do is to show you how I dress my kitchen window for Christmas. What I've got here is black plastic guttering. It's the square guttering, so it will sit very nicely. And what I've done is I've raised it up slightly on these pudding basins. Ideally I would have liked these pudding bowls to be black, but they're my own and I'm not going to spray them black. I have cut the guttering to the exact size of my window and added two end pipes, and so it is completely waterproof. I have then put wet Oasis all the way along the guttering, and I have used 6 bits of Oasis. And then what I've done is I've taped the Oasis to the guttering. I have then placed red candles along the design. I haven't placed them one at each end and one at the middle. I've tried to create a little bit of creative tension by putting one near the end, one off centre and one not quite at the end. Something else I'm going to use is I'm going to use these silk amaryllis. They're really very good. They look very realistic. What I've done is I've also added some of the aluminium wire just to keep them together, and so that I can have a kebab stick up the middle of them so that I can push these down into the Oasis. As well as being a member of my local flower club and JDSE, I'm also a member of Inspirations. Inspirations is a contemporary flower arranging club, and we did have a demonstrator from Singapore who called silk flowers permanent botanicals rather than calling them fake flowers. So I've just added these into the design. I'll turn that one around because it looks slightly better that way. So I have got 3 placements. Again, in my other videos I was just saying that we tend to work in odd numbers. So 3, 5, etc. What I'm now going to do is I'm now going to fill the bottom of the guttering with various types of foliage. The first types of foliage I've got here is spotted laurel. And I'm not sure if you can see, but this spotted laurel actually has little lime green berries on it as well. I can't say I've noticed that before. So I'm just simply cutting the bits of laurel and putting them into the Oasis. What I want to do now is to add even more height to the design, and to do that I'm going to use some of these Formian 10X leaves, and using my thumbnail I'm just going to rip down part of the midrib, and I'm going to turn and staple one side to get some enclosed space, and then what I'm going to do is take the leaf and turn it the other direction and staple. And because I've got little bits sticking out, I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and cut those off. And so I have manipulated my leaf to get a very interesting design with some enclosed space. So again, I'm cutting a V at the bottom, so this will go into the Oasis. And in great Blue Peter fashion, I have a few that I've done earlier. I'm going to make that taller. And it's just remembering which way your V is to go. And I'm just coming down in a line. This design, I'm working my way across the guttering using different groupings of foliage. I started off with the spotted laurel. I've then gone for the smooth leaves of ivy. I've then gone for the fluffy, coarse leaves of the Cupressus, and I have used the the lime green underside of the cupressus here. And then I have used the rosette formation of some variegated rhododendron. And you can see the rhododendron buds are formed and will be breaking out very shortly. For the next grouping of foliage, I've decided to use this Pieris. Beautiful Pieris that to me you just want to stroke this. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I don't actually own this one. It belongs in my father's garden, so I have liberated it or pruned it just for this purposes. Having added the Pieris, and again what I want to do now is, because this is quite fussy, I want something smooth. So when I was out yesterday collecting the foliage, I saw some very long laurel leaves, and I thought, again, we'll do some leaf manipulation. Again, very simple leaf manipulation, and just simply taking it and curling it and then putting a staple, and this time I'm going to put 2 staples into it, one on one side and one on the other side. Okay, so there's a change of form in my leaf. Very simple leaf manipulation. I have grouped the leaves into very large ones, just by eye, and then slightly smaller ones. So I'm going to now layer these leaves, having the larger ones at the bottom and the smaller ones on top. If you also notice, I have added some phormium leaves here. Again, some leaf manipulation where I cut the V. These are the phormium leaves that are cut off. So I've wasted nothing, and also the other thing is that I'm having some repetition of the foliage from over here, where I have got some manipulation, where I've enclosed space in the circles, and here as well. And my last laurel leaf is going in. What I'm finding this year is that I'm having to do the back of the design as well, because we'll be having people in our garden, so I don't want them to see floral foam. So I'm being slightly vertically challenged, up on the tiptoes, and in it goes. The last bit of foliage I want to add are some of this lovely yellow variegated euonymus. It comes in this yellow form. I just felt the yellow was really quite zingy, and it also then picked up the yellow in the rhododendron and also the yellow in the spotted laurel. I say this also comes in a white form, which is really useful as well to have as a flower arranger. I've finished adding all the foliage to my design, but what I want to do is to add a bit of pizzazz, in other words, sparkle to my design. So first of all, I've got some silver twigs that I had last year for Christmas, and I'm just going to add those into the design at the back here. Although I've gone red, I'm adding a little bit of silver because my kitchen is really silver. So those are added in. I've also added in a few more candles as well as the large candles. And I have used candle cups or containers, and I've used tea lights as well. I think it's safer to use tea lights and in candle cups rather than actual candles. And I have put these on kebab sticks, so I'm going to impale this into the design, and I'm also going to make sure, of course, that whenever the tea light is lit, that it's not actually going to catch fire to anything, so I'll just move that stick out of the way. Again, I've got some sparkly Christmas baubles, which again I have impaled onto a kebab stick and then covered the kebab stick with green tape. So I'm going to add this into the design. And I'm just coming down in a little row. All the way through. And I'll maybe put one in the back just to draw your eye through the design. I've also got some red sparkles which I've added in already, and I'll just put some more in. And as we come across, again I decided to add some red sparkly leaves. Again, these leaves are great because you can have them flat on, or you can try and bend them into a bit more natural shape. So I have just simply created a rosette of leaves at the bottom of my phormium. And again, because I've used some of the silver twigs across there, I'm going to add some behind this group of my permanent botanicals, otherwise known as fake flowers, my fake amaryllis. Again, I've got a candle here, so I'm just making sure that none of the twigs are anywhere near the candle. And lastly, I think this is beautiful all green, but again, just to ensure that I've got the red coming through the whole design, I've got some sparkly amaranthus. And I'm just going to bring this slightly out the side of the design. I have some more, but sometimes it is a case of less is more. And then lastly, what I want to do is to light the candles, just so you can see the effect. So here is my completed design, my windowsill all ready for Christmas. So what we're missing is the turkey and the ham and all the trimmings, but no doubt they will come shortly. I'll see you again in the new year with more designs from my kitchen, but in the meantime, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas and a peaceful new year.